Welcome to room 666. Today we're going to be talking about Hereditary, that ending explained. All the references and Easter eggs you might have missed. Will the Cinema D score affect its box office? Can this film even be considered horror? What the... Owie! Welcome to room 666. Today we're going to be reviewing the latest from A24, Hereditary. It's a debut film from Ari Aster. It's got Toni Collette, Molly Shapiro, Gabriel Byrne, and Alex Wolff. Don't lose your head. Okay, since this is going to be a spoiler discussion, I'm not going to give you any details about the plot. If you haven't seen this movie, stop, go watch it, then come back and finish watching this, because I'm going to just talk about everything. And it's really kind of hard to explain the plot without really ruining the movie, so... like I said, don't lose your head. Let's get into it. Oh, Ari Aster, you sly devil, you. Well, this is his first feature-length film. He has a couple of shorts that are out. I have not seen those, but I will check out everything he does from here on out. He has me by the neck, and I'm ready to go with him anywhere he takes me. So, let's talk about what this movie is about. Getting straight into spoilers, jumping straight into it, not talking about what the trailers show you, but what it's really about. So, Toni Collette. She has her husband, Gabriel Byrne, her son, Alex Wolff, and her daughter, who is Millie Shapiro. Now, her mother dies, right? That's basically how the film starts. You get that they're going to her funeral, and you find out that basically Grandma's been in a satanic cult. She's been hanging out with a satanic cult, and she has a spirit, an evil spirit inside of her. One of the rulers of like one of the 6 levels of hell, I believe. Paimon is his name. And Paimon is his game. You got to pay the man. You know what I mean? He wants money. He wants gold. The cult needs to get that spirit from the dead body into a better vessel. Now, the grandma wanted a boy. They needed a boy. But Toni Collette, when they were younger, you come to find out, did not let her see the son. Kind of kept her away. Kept him secluded from her. Didn't let her see her and anything like that. But once she had her daughter, she was able to see her. She even breastfed her for her. So you find out that the grandma was grooming the daughter to become the vessel. She has Paimon inside of her after the grandma dies. There's just something off about her, and the spirit can't live inside of her. It can't stay inside of her, and that's why she is the way she is. And so they need to get out of there. You come to find out, Toni Collette goes to this grieving group to kind of talk to these people about her mother dying. And she meets this woman played by Ann Dowd. And you think she's just this nice lady, just there to kind of help her. She tells her, oh, my grandson died. You know, let me help you out with all these things. And she kind of, basically you find out that she's grooming her so that she can teach her how to say this spell that gets Paimon from Charlie's dead body, because Charlie, the daughter, dies. Like, right away. She just fucking gets her head chopped off, right? And you don't even know that because you think you're watching the trailer. You're just like, oh shit, like, isn't this about the girl with the weird face? She's not going to die, right? She's going to, at the end, this movie's probably going to end with her standing in front of everyone dead and the body's burning or something, right? No. Her head flies off. 30 minutes in. Just flies off. So, they got to get Paimon up in Alex Wolff's body, you know, because he's a young, strapping young lad. He's a stoner. He's hanging out. He's looking at the future, and that's what Paimon wants. You know, he wants a strapping young lad. He wants to get jiggy with it, and Alex Wolff's got the bot for it. They got to say a spell first, but Toni Collette thinks what she's saying is making the ghost of her daughter come and talk to her. So there's all these things going on, and you don't even realize this, right? While you're watching this, you're kind of just going on. You're just going with what's happening. And one thing that I love that our director does is that right from the beginning, right? You start off, the way it starts off is you're outside of the house. You go into the house, and then from the house you see a little model home, and then you go to the model home and you go inside of a room, and then that room becomes the room. The point of view that you're getting of this film is not of any of the characters. It's like an outside force. It's like some other force that's watching them. That's kind of pulling the strings of what's going on. So brilliantly, without you even knowing that it's that brilliant, is that you come with the dad coming into the son's room. You don't start off with the mom. You don't start off with the daughter. You start off by showing that he is the important one, and you have no clue until it starts happening towards the middle of the movie when you realize that he's the vessel that they really want. So our director just knows exactly what he's doing in terms of telling the story. Like when he's leaving the little kind of symbols of the cult everywhere to foreshadow certain things. There's just a lot of things that he does here, but the craft behind it is absolutely beautiful. Unbroken takes are just some of the best things that filmmakers can do if they can do them right. And he does a bunch of great stuff here, especially with the performances, just letting them play out, never having to do all these frantic cuts or these jump scares or just different techniques that you know, that'll try to get you to feel something. Instead, he just leaves the camera there. He just sort of moves it along, pans it along, and he lets the actors kind of show you their, you know, go, especially Toni Collette, where she just goes from 0 to 100 in a lot of these scenes. And it makes those scenes more effective. It makes them more scary. You find yourself kind of, you know, realizing that you weren't breathing for a while because you're waiting for this tense, you know, this thrilling moment to kind of happen. And so another thing that I like about this is that throughout the whole film, you can think that it's all going on in Toni Collette's head. You find out that she sleepwalks, right? Her and the son have a strained relationship because one time he woke up and she was standing over him with a canister of paint thinner and a match. She's going to light him on fire. And so they don't have a really good relationship because of that. So when a lot of these things are happening, she'll kind of wake up from these sleepwalking moments. So it works as a family drama about mental illness and how that gets passed down from generation to generation. And unfortunately, it's hard to outrun that, and how it can affect your children if you're mentally ill, and that if your parents are mentally ill. But then you're thinking, oh, okay, maybe it's all going to be in her head. Maybe none of this is really going to happen. But then the end happens. Let's talk about that ending. I mean, they crown King Paimon. I mean, shit gets crazy up in the treehouse. How big is that treehouse? There's so many naked old people up there just worshiping this devil that is now inside this young boy. But I don't think the devil went in there. Now, at that point, Alex Wolff's character jumps out a window. He lands in these bushes to kill himself, and you see this black spirit leave, and you see this light that's been flickering throughout the film. Anytime it's kind of foreshadowing Paimon or something that he's going to do that the devil's going to do, and you see the light kind of enter him. Well, I think that black spirit was actually Paimon leaving him, and now it's just Charlie that's inside Alex Wolff's character. And I think that's why he wakes up and he does that thing, and he walks up into the treehouse and he sees everybody up there. And Alex Wolff does such an amazing job with just his face, and he just looks like he's Charlie. He just looks like he's just confused and he doesn't know what's going on. I don't get the sense that he's got something in him that's evil and that's ready to kind of take these riches and do these things. I feel like he's just Charlie, and I feel like those spirits got mixed up in that kind of, in all that melee of them trying to put it through Charlie and then go to him. So there's a lot of stuff going on with this movie. So hopefully that if you're watching this, you've seen it, so it's not too confusing. But I'm telling you, the craft behind this, and like I said, it's a basically pretty simple story. Satanic cult wants to get this family to, be a vessel for, their Satan or their devil thing. It's basically Rosemary's Baby. But I think the craft behind it, the way that it's done, showing the model homes, showing that the mom works on the model homes, and kind of showing that idea of that everything is kind of out of your hands, that there's always just a bigger power just kind of working and moving you and doing things. And then you have the scene in the classroom where the teacher is kind of talking about, a tragic hero. Is it tragic if he isn't able to, move along, if he doesn't choose what happens to him? And that's kind of what you have to feel about, Alex Wolff's character. And so there's just so many great things that he does in terms of the writing, in terms of the direction, and I love it all. I wish I could just have a full-on discussion with all of you about this. But Ari Aster, I'm ready to see anything else he does in the future because, like I said, the craft behind this, everything, the cinematography, the score, the direction, every sort of choice that he made to not scare you in a certain way where he could have put jump scares, a lot of moments that he could have done things where a lesser director would have just pooped the bed. But Ari Aster proves, as Rosemary's Baby also proved, that old white people are insane, and they'll worship anything that keeps them in their gold and their riches, especially Satan. Ari Aster, we love you. Well, we're first starting off with the Scream Queen, Toni Collette. Now, she's always good in everything that she's in. She's just not always in good stuff. And she just goes through a range of things that I never thought I would see anybody go through on screen in terms of in the way that she does it. Like, there's, horror movies where somebody's like, they're either like screaming or laughing maniacal, and then they have to like go into like this like calm kind of like sly looking face, and it always looks dumb. and bad. But Toni Collette, I mean, she did it. I'm crowning her the queen of it. She did it, and everything she does here is fantastic. Making this character, you know, you feel for this character because you know that she's sick. You know that there's something wrong with her, and you know that she doesn't want to be doing the bad things that she's doing. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about this film, what I enjoyed about, instead of it being like scary in terms of, ooh, there's like the deadly cult, but the real fear I feel like that Toni Collette's character has is passing down that mental illness to her kids. I mean, subconsciously she wanted to murder them. She admits to her son that she didn't even want to have him. But it's like something like, it's a fear that I kind of have in a way. It's just like, why would I want to have kids? Why would I want to pass down whatever it is that I am to other people? Why do I want to make other things like this? You know what I'm saying? And I felt that like fear that she had of that. She knew that there was something wrong with her. She knew that her family had the mental illness, and she didn't want to give her kids that or have her kids go through that. But what that meant was that she didn't want her kids to become part of that cult, to be part of another vessel for her mother's demons. You know what I'm saying? And that's such a great allegory and all that. And it's a great performance from Toni Collette because you feel for her, you understand what she's going through. But then once you get towards the third act, you're just like, holy shit, she's insane. What the fuck's going on? She's fucking chopping her head off with the piano string. I mean, with piano wire. I don't. But it's done in such a Academy Award winning way. I mean, she's going to get the Oscar, I think. There hasn't really been a performance, I think, that's made waves like this in terms of the female category, and I think nothing is going to come close to this. It really can just be looked at as a family drama, even without all the horror elements. You just have a great, just sort of mom with mental illness and crises, just kind of not wanting to, pass that on to her children, and everything she does here with the dialogue, all the monologues that she has, the dinner scene that she has where she's telling her son off is such a fantastic scene that she just goes through just anger, through sadness, through just frustration and everything. And it's so brilliant and phenomenal. And it just, it's a performance that is, it's walking on eggshells. It's not all over the place. It's not big. But then when it needs to be, boom, it's all over the place. And it's big and it's loud and she's frantic and you feel her losing her mind. And like I said, with the way that he films these unbroken takes, I mean, you feel it. You're just like, Jesus, like, calm down, lady. You're just like sitting there just waiting for her to chill out. And that's all because of her performance. She just elevates this film. Like I said, not only does the direction bring it out, but all the acting combined with it, especially her, it's just phenomenal. It's just, it's like she's got Paimon in her, you know what I'm saying? And I loved it. Toni Collette, if they don't give you the Oscar this year, then, let's go chop some heads off. Let's go chop the Academy's heads off, because you deserve it. Woo, 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 woo! Where my Wolf brothers at? We got Alex Wolff up in the mix. Now, people are going to be ranting and raving about Toni Collette this year with this performance, as they should, as I said before. But I really believe that the breakout stand-up performance in this film is Alex Wolff. He is amazing in everything that he does in terms of just being a teenager. Now, you might think it should be an easy thing for a young person to play, but it never is, especially in horror movies and especially in family thrillers. The teenagers always come off as this lame fucking version, especially because he plays a stoner, of this lame kind of stoner version of teenagers, and Alex Wolff does not do that at all. It feels very mature, but at the same time, he still feels young. He still feels like he's got a lot of stuff pent up inside of him that he wants to talk about, but he's too kind of naive and too much of a kid to really deal with it in the way that he wants to. And Alex Wolff conveys that in so many scenes in such a great way. And then the scene when he's driving and fucking Charlie's head gets fucking knocked off, that is just, and the camera just stays on his face. I mean, come on. We're talking about Oscars for Toni Collette. I can see an Oscar if they gave an Oscar nomination to Alex Wolff for Best Supporting Actor for this, I would be really happy because I think he deserves it. Alex Wolff, can't wait to see you in more stuff that's not Jumanji. We're going to round out the cast here. Last but not least, we got Gabriel Byrne, Baby Byrne, Millie Shapiro, and Ann Dowd. All great performances here. All hail Paimon. All hail Paimon. All hail Paimon. In conclusion, I would love to tell everyone to run out and see this, but it is not a movie for everyone. If you'd like just sort of, slow burn psychological thrillers with some supernatural kind of horror elements thrown in there, not really kind of pushed on you, but they're there, then I think that you should check this out. The trailer does not do this film justice. Again, I really enjoyed this. The craft behind it is really amazing. Everything that the director was able to do to tell the story that he told. A24 is killing it with these types of things. And I'm happy now. Hail Paimon, I've found my king.